Paul Russell is a man who stands in his garage and talks to us about how the sun apparently doesn't make sense. He seems to have an issue with the speed of light and feels that light just works instantly wherever you are in the universe. Well, this week on Tinfoil Tuesday, Paul is taking one step further and going to try and debunk the solar eclipse. Hello all and welcome along to another episode of Tinfoil Tuesday with me, Simon Dan. Thank you very much for joining me. Before we begin today, a huge thank you to the sponsors of this video, Surfshark VPN. Surfshark is a VPN service that makes online privacy protection easy and attainable, encrypting all internet traffic sent to and from your devices and ensuring your IP address remains hidden to make sure no one can see what you do online. On top of that, they block ads, trackers, malwares and phishing attempts. And unlike other VPN services, you can use it on as many devices as you want simultaneously. Look, I think we all spend as much time online in this day and age as we do sleeping, around 6 to 8 hours per day. The internet knows a hell of a lot about us, which is why we should care about our online data. And you can use Surfshark to encrypt your personal information and send it via a secure VPN tunnel so no one can see it without your permission, which is great for protecting things like your ID. ID theft is an increasingly common and scary crime. Use Surfshark and its HackLock system to get alerts anytime your email address or password is compromised. HackLock will scan various databases of leaked information and then will notify its users if their data is found so they can take action. Just go to surfshark.com/SimonDan for 4 extra months of Surfshark at an unbeatable price. Right, on with today's Tinfoil Tuesday and a man who is called Paul Russell. Now he's got a serious bee in his bonnet about the sun and apparently he's about to blow it all apart by dissecting the solar eclipse. Take it away, Paul.
Okay. Good morning, fuckers. Right? So here we are. I was going to give it 3 days, but 2's more than enough watching you guys bumping around like you're in the dark, okay? All I asked for was an explanation for the eclipse, right? To see if you knew what you were talking about. We had a few, not bad, but without the 8 minutes and 20-second delay. There was one that said, the moon and the sun and earth need to be directly in line. But I said, dude, what about the delay? I understand that they have to be in line. I'm saying that the light radiating from the sun for a solar eclipse, shadow of the moon onto earth, has to be absolute. Otherwise, it's a no-go. It does not work.
As you can see, Paul thinks that the speed of light means an eclipse doesn't work. He feels that light should be instant and everywhere all at once. Of course, the light from the sun taking 8 minutes and 20 seconds to reach Earth has no effect on the alignment of the sun, moon and Earth during an eclipse whatsoever.
I've given you guys, what, just under 24, 48 hours or something? Enough. I will now show you why. What's going to happen is we'll get to the stage where you guys are going to go, oh, no, it's rubbish. His content is rubbish. Because you're not going to be able to follow what I'm saying. I guarantee you. You've already proved that. And that is why you guys have so much trouble understanding my content. Because some of it goes slightly over your head.
I think the problem is, because you misunderstand the nature of physics and light, then your content reflects that fact. This means that we try to tell you where you've gone wrong, but you just don't accept it because of the aforementioned misunderstandings.
So I'm going to try and knock this one out in a oneer before I take my son to school and before I have my first coffee. Now, you say there is an 8 minute and 20-second delay from the light radiating from the sun to hit planet Earth. I'm saying it's an absurdity.
This is a classic case of personal incredulity. You cannot understand how this would work. Therefore, in your mind, you don't believe it's possible.
The sun's light is absolute, okay? Now, the eclipse, sun, moon, earth. We don't have to see it. I think you might be able to follow this bit. What we have, as you know, earth turns anti-clockwise and we have an eclipse coming up. Doesn't matter where we are on earth, earth is about to get into the sweet spot where the moon is in between the sun and earth. This 8 minute and 20-second delay, but the sun's Mickey Mousing everywhere, it is because of Earth's axis spin, right?
Well, no, it's not Earth's rotation that causes the delay. It's the speed of light that causes the delay. I thought we already established that fact.
So what we need to do is convert 8 minutes and 20 seconds into degrees of axis spin. Do we know how to do that?
Yes, but why do we need to?
I am going to use Alexa. I already know the numbers. So those of you keep
This
saying...
might answer your question.
Stop.
According to Wikipedia, a telephone number is a sequence of digits assigned to a landline telephone subscriber station connected to a telephone line or to a wireless...
He can't even use his Alexa properly, but he's right about the speed of light. Sure, Paul, sure. Let's move on to where he actually gets his Alexa to work.
8 minutes and 20 seconds. Now, there are 86,400 seconds in 24 hours. Look, let's ask, just for your benefit. Alexa, how many seconds in 24 hours?
24 hours is 86,400 seconds.
Tick.
Great! Now what?
We have 8 minutes and 20 seconds. If you crunch the numbers, I know some of you aren't too good at that, you'll get 500. So there are 500 seconds in 8 minutes and 20 seconds. What we do is we divide the 24 hours worth of seconds by 8 minutes and 20 worth, okay? Alexa, what's 86,400 divided by 500?
86,400 divided by 500 is 172.8.
Lucky guess, right?
Comments below right now, please, on what you think Paul is actually trying to do here. Pause the video and have a guess.
So what we have now is 172.8 500-second blocks in 24 hours, right? This is the bit where I don't like it. It's rubbish. It's not rubbish. The numbers, it confuses the issue, but they're necessary, aren't they? So we have 172.8 500-second blocks in 24 hours. So now what do? We know that there are 360 degrees in a revolution. We know that, yeah? 360 degrees in, right?
Yes, there are. At least he's happy on that one.
So we divide the 360 by 172.8. Alexa, what's 360 divided by 172.8?
360 divided by 172.8 is approximately 2.0833.
Right. Now what we have, the 8 minutes and 20 seconds, we convert it into degrees of axis spin.
So Paul has worked out that in 8 minutes and 20 seconds, the Earth rotates 2.08 degrees. Great. But why would you do that, Paul?
We have to, don't we? Because that is how far Earth is behind the Sun, or how far the Sun is in front of Earth. Yeah?
No, this does not affect the eclipse, because the eclipse is caused by the relative motion of the Moon and the Earth, not the delay in light travel. And what you've totally forgot to factor in during these calculations, Paul, is that the Moon is also moving in its own orbit, and moving in the same direction that the Earth rotates, which is what makes those eclipses last a little bit longer.
So, what happens? Earth's turning like this. The Moon is over here, the Sun is there, the eclipse is happening on this side. Doesn't matter, you'll be able to work that out. So what happens is, boom, a packet of photons, or salt linear crisps, has just left the Sun. 2.08 degrees of axis spin later, which is 8 minutes and 20 seconds, boom, Earth is bang in line with the Moon and the Sun, and we get the sweet spot eclipse. Now, in the US, it went from the southwest to the northeast, right across the country, and it lasted for 3 hours and 15 minutes. Now,
Indeed it did, but there's a reason for that. The rotation of Earth, the speed of the moon in its orbit, and the tilt of the moon's orbit at the time of the eclipse.
Whether you like it or not, it is physically, it is impossible that Earth stayed 2.08 degrees of axis spin behind the sun, with the moon in between the two, for 3 hours and 15 minutes. It is physically impossible because as Earth spins, the sun moves away. It starts to drop in the horizon. It does not stay ahead enough for Earth to constantly be behind it.
Okay, I've played along for enough time now, let's properly end this one. Eclipses do not depend on Earth staying behind the sun. The speed of light delay is irrelevant to the geometry of an eclipse. The positions of celestial bodies are determined by their orbits and motions, not by how long light takes to reach us. And let's not forget, the sun is already shining when an eclipse begins. And since an eclipse happens when the moon blocks the sunlight, the shadow the moon casts is delayed by the same 8 minutes and 20 seconds. The entire system's light and shadows are in sync.
Do we see where we are now? It is physically 100% slam dunk, physically impossible for the eclipses to play out the way they do, with a Mickey Mouse finite speed of light of 299,792,458 meters per second.
In your mind. The cool thing about science is it doesn't rely on one mind, it's a collaboration. And you, sir, are incredibly wrong about this. You can actually work out the speed of light for yourself, Paul, with nothing but a ruler, a bar of chocolate and a microwave. I've done it, and if I can do it, so can you. Give it a try, my friend. Well, there we go, another Tinfoil Tuesday all finished. Let me know in the comments what you thought of Paul and his presentation there. As I say, we're all done and dusted for another Tinfoil Tuesday. Thanks so much for watching today, it is appreciated. If you enjoyed it, then a thumbs up would be hugely thankful, as well as sharing the video and subscribing to the channel as well if you really did enjoy it. Just enough time to once again thank Surfshark for sponsoring today's video. Remember, go to surfshark.com/SimonDan for 4 extra months of Surfshark at an unbeatable price. I've been Simon Dan, have yourselves a great couple of days, and I'll see you on Thursday for another comments video. Should be a fun, good one. See you then.